Hey you all! Also hi to fellow dressmakers, you're welcome to another interesting tutorial, and in today's video we'll be making this beautiful double-breasted dress with a notched collar and a gathered skirt. It also has a basque waistline. This one you can see on the left is an AI modified dress, and we use that as an inspiration to make the one you can see on the right hand side. So if you're interested in learning how to go about the pattern drafting, the cutting and the sewing of this dress, then I urge you to watch this video to the end. We'll be starting with the back pattern, and I have the center back, I have the shoulder line, and I have the waistline. Whatever I have here as the shoulder to the waistline is going to be 1.5 minus from what I will be using as the shoulder to the waistline for the front, because we'll be using the bust dart method here. So you're going to mark your shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then you go down to the chest line, and on the chest line again you mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then on this point, I will also mark the chest line just so I have a smooth line once I mark out the two like this. Next, you're going to be marking the standard neck width. Then from that point, you come down to about 1 inch as the neck depth for the back. Your standard neck width, and then for the neck depth, you're doing 1 inch. Now for the shoulder slope, I'll be doing 0.75, just 0.75 here. Then I'm going to be connecting it to the neck width this way. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to measure from the shoulder tip down to the chest line, get the midpoint. We'll be needing that later to cover the armhole. And then I'm going to be contouring the center back, and to do it proper, I'm going to come up here to about 3 inches. Then on that point, I'll come into half inch. You can also do 0.75. Then I'm going to place my ruler to be touching that half inch and just connect it to the shoulder tip and to the waistline just as it goes like this. Now my measurement to start from this line. I'll take the bust measurement divided by 4 plus half inch is, then on the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch, that is that allowance here. I'll be including the that later. Then I'll connect from the bust to the waist like this. Initially I did not add the half inch is allowance, but that is totally optional. You can decide to just use your exact bust measurement divided by 4, but I recommend you add at least 0.25 is allowance to your bust measurement. Then you're going to curve from the bust width to the midpoint we got earlier. Once that is done, the next thing we'll be doing now is to just blend the center back downwards like this, and then we are going to be doing the dart. I'll start from the initial center back line and come into my bust span. That's the nipple to nipple divided by 2 here. Then I'll go up to 5 inches. On that 5 inches, that length, I'll be marking the bust span again, the nipple to nipple divided by 2, yeah. And now for the dart intake, I'll be doing half inch on both sides, which is the same 1 inch dart allowance I added to the waist measurement divided by 4, yeah. And now we are going to just be giving it an armhole princess seam line this way, and we are using that midpoint we got earlier on the armhole line. Do you understand? Now we are going to be extending the waistline by 2 inches here on the side. I want to do exactly 2 inches here, and now you're going to measure from here. You see the your original center back line, yeah. You're going to measure from that point to your waist measurement plus the dart intake here, and then you come down here to these 2 inches and add half inch to what you measured on your waistline. Do you understand? And now when you're connecting it, it's looking like you're connecting from your waist to your hip. Can you see that it's not the same measurement there? Now for the center back, I'll be doing 3.5 as the waistline extension or the basque length for the center back. Then I'll place my ruler like this or my curve like this and curve it out, and it's looking like this. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to extend the bust span down to this length. Then on both sides, I'll be marking the same half inch I used as my dart intake on the waistline, and of course extend the dart legs down to this length this way. Now after you're done, you're going to be throwing the dart legs just so when you're sewing them they will align better. So you measure the two, and there's going to be a shorter one, so you can decide to make that shorter one to be the same length with the one that is longer, or better still, you make the one that is longer to be at the same length as the one that is shorter, and then you're going to blend it in. Whichever one you choose to do, just blend it in like you see me do it here. Now I'm going to be adding my zipper allowance of 1 inch, following all these vital points, yeah, all the way to the shoulder, because yeah, I used a combination of invisible zipper on the back and a belt just so you can snatch the waist better. Remember we say this is an AI modified dress, and you have to look very closely to know what trick you will be using to sew it to achieve it, because yeah, we'll be talking about that later. But for now, this is what we have, and the next thing we'll be doing now is to measure this back neckline. That is the essence of drafting the back pattern first before we do the front. So you're going to measure from the neck width all the way to the neck depth. Just measure around the neckline. Take your time and measure it accurately. Once you have it, you're going to write it down. But then I want to go out half inch to this neck width I have here. You can decide to just do 0.25, or better still, just as I've shown you, just measure what you have here as your standard neck width and 1 inch neck depth. Measure that round and use that figure for what you'll be using it for on the front pattern. But yeah, I did 3.5 in total as the neck width, and then 1 inch as the neck depth, and measuring it I have about 3.75, yeah, or 3.5 as the measurements I have around the neckline. So yeah, I'm going to be cutting this out, and of course you're going to label them side back, and we'll be cutting two of that later on the fabric, and then the center back will also be cutting two of that on the fabric, because this paper is just a single paper, so you'll be cutting two pieces of these patterns to make up for the back pieces. Now for the front, you're going to have this extension here before your shoulder line, and mine is measuring about 5.5. I recommend you do not have anything less than that. Then on the center front, I have about 5 inches. Depending on what your bust span is, it depends on how much you're having as the extension on the center front. Now I'm going to start from that shoulder line and measure down first to the bust point, then down to her waistline, which I already mentioned that that is going to be 1.5 longer than what I used as the shoulder to the waistline for the back. Now, you're going to label that bust point line and waistline. Then on the shoulder line, you'll be marking your shoulder measurement divided by 2, yeah? And then you go down to your chest line. You're using the same chest line you use for the back. Then you read them out this way. Once that is done, I'm going to be marking the 3.5 I used as the neck width for the back. Yeah, that's the total neck width I used, 3.5. Then for the neck depth, I used 4 inches. That is you adding 1 inch to your standard neck depth. That is your guide. Your neck depth, you will be adding 1 inch to it and use that as your neck depth for this pattern. Then you're going to extend that neck depth all the way to that extension we have on the center front. Then for the shoulder slope, you're using the same 0.75 we use for the back, yeah? And here I'm trying to connect it to 3 inches standard neck width instead of the 3.5 you're using here as the neck width. Are you following? Now you're going to measure from the shoulder slope down to the chest line. Get the midpoint here. Then on that point, you go out half inch, and then you're going to get your bust measurement divided by 4 here on the chest line, plus half inch is allowance. Yeah, then we are going to be connecting from that shoulder tip to the half inch we have here, then from that half inch to the bust width like this. Once that is done, we are going to be doing the bust band from the center front line. Yeah, you come into your nipple to nipple divided by 2, you mark it on the waistline and also on the bust point line, and then you read it out like that. Then for the dart intake, I'll be doing 0.625, which is 1.25 in total as my dart intake, waist dart intake. Then I'm going to shape it on both sides this way. Then I'm going to take my waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.25 dart intake on the waistline, and then I'll connect from that point to the bust width like this. The next thing we'll be working on now is to do the wrap extension, like how much you want it to wrap, yeah? And if you don't know what to do, if you're following what you have on the thumbnail, you're going to use your bust span minus half inch. That's your nipple to nipple divided by 2 minus 1 inch. You're going to use that as a guide. Then you start from your center front and go out to that value. Again, if you're not sure what to do, you can just use your bust span here. That's your nipple to nipple divided by 2. You mark it here as the wrap extension. Do you understand? So here I did nipple to nipple divided by 2 minus half inch. I did 3 inches there. Now you're going to measure from the shoulder to your break point. You see this part where the arrow is pointing? That's where you have your first button here. That's what we call the breaking point. You're going to read it out, and I recommend you use from your shoulder to your under bust minus 1 inch as your breaking point. Then you're going to mark that same wrap extension on this point, and then you read it out to make it a box like this. Once that is done, you're going to connect from here to this neck width, and since you already went out half inch from the standard neck width, you're going to connect it like that. But if what you have is your standard neck width, I recommend you go out to at least 0.25, and then you're going to connect from this point to that point. But I'm using half inch away from the standard neck width, as you can see it here. Once that is done, we are going to be marking that same value we measure around the back neckline here. You're going to mark the exact value here. We measure 3.5 here. I'm going to mark that same 3.5 here. Then I'm going to connect it from this line, just extend it to that point, and you can see how slanty it is looking. That is also how relaxed it's going to be on your neckline. Then from that point, I'll go out to 0.25, and we have it here, just 0.25. Then I'll measure from that point to the shoulder line this way, get the midpoint and mark it this way. Then I'm going to be connecting from that point to this midpoint I got here. All of this does not matter, but for my sanity, I'm doing it. It's when you're sewing that you will see the essence of all of this. So we're going to just connect it like this, and I'm trying to just blend it in as much as possible. Now the next thing I'll be getting here is the collar width, and you're going to do, depending on how wide you want your collar to be when you fold it at the back here, depends on what you're doing here. And I did 3.5. Now if you don't know how much to connect it, like how slant is going to go, measure from this point to the shoulder line this way, and whatever it is you measured, you're going to come to this collar width and add 2 inches to it and mark it. And when you connect it, you're not worrying about if it's too slanty or if it is too straight, because you use the right measurement. Now the next thing we'll be getting is the lapel width, and from this center front on the neck depth, I'll be going out to 2.5. That's how wide I want the lapel to be here. Then I'm going to connect from that point to the breaking point with a straight ruler, and it's looking like this. Once that is done, we'll be getting the notch, and I'm going to start here and come into 1.5. That's how the length of the notch I want to have on the lapel here. So I have 1.5 here. Then I'll start from here and go up to 1 inch. That's how open I want the notch to be. Then on that 1 inch, I'm going to make sure I have 1.5 too, from the 1.5 I have on the lapel line or on the neck depth. Are you following? So we have it like this: 1 inch as the wideness, and then 1.5 as the length of the notch. Then we're going to connect from here to here, and you see that I'm trying to make it slightly curved, if that is what you want, or you just connect it straight. Then I'll place my curve like this, like I'm curving out a round neckline, and blending this part from the neck width to meet the collar. Do you understand? Blend in any part you need to blend in, and that's pretty much about it for the collar. The next thing we'll be doing now is to measure from the shoulder slope down to where we want the armhole princess seam line to be, and I will place my curve like this and blend it in to the bust span, or the dart we have on the bust span. Then I'll start from this bust point line and come down to 1.5 for her bust dart, and then I'll connect it to the bust span this way. The next thing now is to come down here to 2 inches waistline extension for the side, and then I'm going to extend the center front line this way. Once I have that, I'm going to measure whatever it is I have from here to here. I'm going to add half inch to it and mark it on this 2 inches extension we have on the side. Yeah, whatever it is you have on the waistline, add half inch to it and mark it. Then when you're connecting it, it's going to look like you're connecting from your waist to your hip measurement. It's not going to look straight on that point. Then for the bust length for the front, I'm doing 4 inches. Yeah, initially I did 3.5, but then I ended up doing 4 inches. From the waistline, I came down just 4 inches. It shouldn't be too long, because the V basque waistline, like the one we are trying to recreate, is not that long. So now whatever extension I have here, I'm going to also extend it to this point and use my ruler to connect it out like this. Now the very next thing we do is to extend these dart legs. First, to extend the bust span, that's the nipple to nipple line. Then we are going to be making sure we have the, here you can do about half inch. Since I did 0.625 as the waist dart intake on the waistline, you can do half inch here, or better still, you just extend the dart legs. Then again, you're going to measure and through the dart legs, just so when you transfer them to your fabric and when you sew, they are going to align without any of them being too long or shorter than it's supposed to. So whichever one you choose to do, either you make the shorter one to be as long as the long one, or the longer one as short as the short one. Just blend it in like that. And now let me show you how to cut this out. First, you're going to open up that bust span Then you're going to slash the bust dart this way, apply your water glue, or better still just place the slashed one on the bust point line and tape it down with your masking tape or sellotape, anyone you choose to. Then you blend in the side seam line, and of course label them as you're going to cut them, because after cutting, the front pattern might be looking like the back pattern, the side back pattern. So label them and how many you're going to cut. So I'll be cutting two pieces of each, the center front and the side front, two pieces of them. And then don't forget to notch the notch on the lapel. Does that even make sense? So notch the notch on the lapel, just so when you're transferring to your fabric, it will be easier for you to notch it on the fabric too. So after cutting, this is what we have. And the next thing is to go ahead and cut the gathered fabric, which is this first thing you're going to cut from your fabric before you cut the rest of the pattern. So measure what you have here just to the center front. The extension is not included. Whatever it is you measured, you're going to times it by 4 and you use that to cut the skirt. The length, you're going to measure from your shoulder to the 2 inches extension we have on the waistline, and then you minus that from your whole gown length, and that will be the length for the skirt. So I went ahead to cut out these two for the belt, yeah, and later I'm going to just close it like that, and once I get here I'm going to finish it up like this. I have two of that for the two sides. Then I have the basic sleeve, which is basically a basic shirt sleeve, and then we have the side front and the center front, which I also use same fabric as the lining, and the same with the center front. But you see this side front, yeah, even if you didn't make it to use same fabric as your lining, you see the center front, you're going to make sure it is the same fabric you're using as your lining and your fashion fabric. I'm talking about the center front. I forgot to notch this notch on the lapel, and if you're particular about using any two of the four pieces of the front as your fashion fabric, go ahead and mark it here. I like to do that because yeah, I like to be straightforward. I know that this two is just for the main fabric. Then I also went ahead to transfer the back patterns, the side back and the center back, two pieces of that, and I also have two pieces each for the lining. And then for the collar, I just made sure that the center back was cut on fold this way. There is no allowance here because it's on fold, and then I added stitching allowance all around. Now in the coming video, I'll be showing you how to put all of these pieces together to make that gorgeous dress you see in the beginning of this video. I hope you found this tutorial very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you on my next one.